You want to tell us a little bit about Beautiful Fight?
Yes, awesome. So I started this crazy thing is this just hearing all about diversity in this place and what I'm all about. But 4 years ago, I spent weeks doing missions and thinking I was going to change the world, thinking I was going to pull girls out of sex trafficking, thinking I was going to change the way their poverty stances were, and in turn it changed me, right? And so I came back home. I had heard a story from a man, got to sit with him in Cambodia. This is what really changed me, was going to Cambodia on this mission trip, sat with a man and got to hear his story about what it was like to keep his family sustainable, keep his girl in his home, and he ended up he lost his wife, he lost his livelihood. He was once a fisherman, and then he ended up trafficking his daughter. She was 4 years old, and what he thought was a better life for his child was to take her and sell her, and maybe they would give her a better life. Well, in turn, they trafficked her. And great story about there's organizations around the world that are bringing them girls back home, and they're restoring them to perfect health, not completely, but to the point where they're able to, live and have their livelihood. And we all know that you can't just bring a girl back. You can't change poverty unless you give them the tools to change their situation. So I came home and I'm like, I need to do something, right? I need to do something. I need to employ as many people as I can. And then I get this thought of this box, right? And it's fighting for a cause bigger than yourself, right? And so this box has 5 to 6 items in it, and we procure all these items from individual organizations around the world. Not only did I work on mission field, but the Lord called me back and said, I need you to work in your backyard. This is our backyard, right? Diversity, getting people plugged in, getting refugees jobs and places where they can live sustainable, right? So we have this spoon here, and I'm just going to share a short thing about it. This spoon was created by a lady in Kenya. She's an artesian woman. She once was trafficked, and her family was in poverty. And this 17-year-old girl seen this on a mission field and turned around and said, I'm coming home and I'm going to change their lives. So she started fundraising for these families. And in turn, after fundraising for these families, she found herself graduating from high school, starting her own nonprofit, and going now, she's in Africa and she's giving families sustainable income. And then now she's also developing programs here in America for women that are sex trafficked too. So there's also items in here, this one last one, and this is called 11th Code. And we curated this box so that others would know. So we're all about informing, inspiring, and giving back. So this candle was created or made by a girl who was sex trafficked in Ohio State. And they gave her a job and a sustainable income and said, you know what, I'm going to teach you a trade. You know what they say, that you can give someone a fish and they can live for a day, but if you teach them how to fish, they can live for a lifetime, right? So this is what they did. And in turn, the proceeds go to a home and a shelter for women and children in Ethiopia. So it's just one of the many things, and I'm thankful for Stephen for allowing us to come out, because really it's about people, right? It's really about helping, connecting, growing with people. And in this season, it was like, okay, do this thing. And I'm telling you, I've only did it for 5 months, and I have networked with five continents. I've networked with tons all over the United States, and it's a networking thing. And this is why we're here. So Steve is going to hand off 5 of these boxes to
Let's do it. Big round of applause for Steve and Natalie, please.